Welcome back and thank you for joining us. You're still in the press on the POLITY, I beg your pardon, reaching you live from the nation's capital in Abuja. And with me to my right is Comrade Duke Alamboye, of course, to analyze most of the recent happenings on the POLITY. Good afternoon, Comrade.
Thank you very much for having me.
And to my left is Honorable Gajo. Of course, it's not a new face, of course, on the POLITY too. Good afternoon, Honorable.
Good afternoon.
And it's safe to say compliments of the season to both gentlemen in the studio today. How are you?
Well, you've seen us, we are Nigerians. Someone said low income with high purchasing power. No money, prices of goods and services increasing every day. So I think this year's 2023 celebrations, end of year and the Christmas celebration is actually for many homes in a low tune, and low tune in quotes. So I think my brother who understands may elaborate more on low tune.
Okay, all right,
very well. Well, Alhamdulillah, we thank God we have reached the end of 2023, because from the beginning of the 2023, it was a lot of controversies throughout. Even during the election, is still controversy. After the election, is still controversy. And handing over is the most tragic one. The man in charge who is supposed to put the master plan or action plan
together,
he is absent in his job because he is traveling all over. So we don't know where we are, and we don't know what are we going to do, because even if you do, it's going to be like you have not done anything. So the economy is not supporting the poor, it's not supporting the middle class, it's not supporting the rich. So that is why this year celebration, like my brother said, is a low-key. In fact, some did not even celebrate
at all. But then in all of that, people would say when there's life, there's hope, and let's be grateful. So I guess as Nigerians, we have to be grateful right now. Because speaking about when there's life, there's hope, this morning, the report has it that we've lost one of the governors of the state we have in Nigeria, and that is in person of Ondo State Governor. Of course, there's been lots of back and forth surrounding his death, about him traveling abroad for medical treatment, and of course now he's been confirmed dead as of 10 o'clock this morning, and we pray that his soul rest in perfect peace. And I'd like us to observe a 1 minute silence for the dead. May the soul of the departed rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
All right, now let's we cannot talk about the dead governor without talking about what is actually going on in that state right now. As of last week, power was shifted over to the deputy governor, and meanwhile we've always had issues about issues between the deputy governor and the governor. But now that the power is invested in the deputy governor, of course by constitutional rights it automatically moves to the deputy governor. I'd like to get your own opinion on what you think is going to happen come when the power moves over to the deputy governor, given that he had issues with the House of Rep members even before this time.
I think, like we've rightly observed, may the soul of the departed rest in peace. You see, issues of health. I could remember vividly this same governor who just passed on, almost playing on the health issue of, I think, a presidential candidate. Yes, understand. So this is what life has to offer to us. Most times you think you're the alpha and omega. Nobody's alpha and omega when it comes to health. The next minute you're healthy, the next minute you're having one issues or the other. So I think we must be very careful, deliberately very careful the way we approach health issues. However, well, God given and God has taken. So the issues surrounding the state leadership and all of that, I think it's purely a constitutional matter. I regret people whipping so much sentiments on the issues. they are constitutional matters. The Constitution have made these provisions that when a governor or a leader or a president or a chairman, anybody that's been deputized, the primary function of the deputy is to act in the absence of his leader or of his principal at any instance that the principal is handicapped or is not available, whether in good health or in travel or in absence, any form of absenteeism, the deputy takes over. So I don't know why we leave so much sentiments to that issue, making it look as if it's not constitutional. And then, to a greater extent, the State Assembly, the role they played was also not fair enough to the deputy governor. If Nigerians are beginning to see the position of a deputizing governor not important, then people should move an emotion for that so that it can be scrapped off. We see so many governors are so overbearing, even when they know that they are traveling out. Even in the presidency, it happens a lot, which is not right. It's an abuse to constitutional right of whoever that is deputizing to any of his or our principal. Today now, the president came into the old issues, the old saga, and had tried to make some level of peace. And the assemblies have put themselves into the right direction. The deputy was given the right to act in the absence of which ab initio they're supposed to do. He's not supposed to linger to this moment. Okay, now today he is now what I want to say, fortunate or unfortunately, he is now the governor. So the power to direct the state resides on him. So what if he also begins to do the contrary to the legislators? The legislators it's high time they started sitting down to know that their duty, their primary function, is to give the state or the country good policies that will help the executive governance. Their intrusion into the executive activities is becoming too unbearing. We understand the constitutionality of fission of power. That is, even though there is separation of power, there is checks and balances rather. We understand that, but it is becoming too overwhelming. We are not, since 6 months ago that the general elections elapsed, we've not seen any state or national legislators bringing out policies. All we hear is their involvement in one case or the other, one impeachment process. I think it is becoming so unbearable. We should move away from that. I think Ondo State is stable now. God has done his wish. The deputy governor is stable now. By today or tomorrow, he will be sworn in as the full governor. I don't know what the constituency. I think the deputy will be elected by the party or nominated by the party. But I want to see the state moving on from this moment. The legislature and the executive arms of government should come together properly and see that the dividends of democracy is enhanced in Ondo State. Okay, over to you, Gajo.
Yeah, he said most of the things, but I want to tell him that there is no vacuum. The Constitution did not create any vacuum. When you are acting, you are a full governor. You understand? So if the substantive governor died or something happened to him or incapacitated, automatically the deputy governor, who is acting governor, will take charge. He's a governor. Automatically, because there is no vacuum. You made mention of Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. You see, during Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, there was too much controversies. There is people who don't want President Jonathan to act as acting president, and there is those who are supporting him. But those who are supporting him are very few. So the National Assembly then, you know, then we have some good lawmakers, intellectuals, and those who are patriotic to Nigeria. They say, no, this thing cannot happen. We have to come up with something. And they came up with a doctrine of necessity. A doctrine of necessity means that there is no any executive officer that will move out of the country without handing over to his deputy. You understand?
Yes.
We saw what happened in Taraba. We saw what played during those times. You understand? But the National Assembly passed that law. You understand? immediately, because some of the governors will travel, hand over to secretary to the government of the federation, hand over to
secretaries of the states,
commissioner, you know, just like that, to rubbish the office of the deputy. But I think it's 8th assembly, 7th assembly, they made it very, and they pass it and it stand. That is why in Taraba, the man automatically became a governor, but due to in-house, the party issues and the elite in the state does not agree with the other. You know, you have different religion, different tribes. So the other religion was saying, no, it has to be our man. The other tribe was saying, no, it has to be our man. So many controversies. And the way Umar Musa Yar'Adua was smuggled to Nigeria, that's how Dambaba was smuggled to Nigeria. He can't talk, he can't remember anything, he don't even know he's a governor, he don't even know he has a wife, and so on and so forth. So coming back to Akeredula, it's so unfortunate that a man is a senior advocate. I didn't expect him to go through that route. He was traveling to go and on medical
leave,
tourism, but he has never handed over to the deputy until when the issue has become the cancer has become a full-blown cancer. So he can't communicate perfectly with those who are in charge of his government, his cabal. You understand? So he decided to give the deputy governor acting governor. So when he traveled, the wife, the accountant general, state assembly, all of them connive and frustrating the deputy governor. They even claim that the man wants him to die so that he can take over. He was removing people, he was changing this, he was doing that, he's not doing what Akeredula is doing, and so on and so forth. So when Akeredula came back, immediately they sent to the state assembly, to the chief judge of the state, notification of impeachment, and the chief judge refused. Say no, you can't impeach him on this basis. He has not done anything. You understand? The speaker insisted, and everybody knows that the man is sick. That's the first time they came to Villa, and President Tinubu reconciled them and said, look, it's your deputy, you have to work with him. If you are traveling, hand over to him. When you come back, you transmit power. They went back to Ondo State. Those people in Ondo State said they don't agree. It become back and front, a lot of crisis. And when the man was going, as they agreed with the president, he handed over to him as acting governor. He left. So since he left, nobody heard of him until this news. But before he died, when the acting governor was acting, they are still frustrating him. They even locked the government, governor's house, governor's lodge, governor's this, governor that. You know, you can't use this, you can't enter this office, you can't order this, you can't order a lot of things. So now the man has went to rest. The new man, the state assembly and the commissioners, he will sack the one he wants to sack. Those, the speaker that is giving him trouble, he can impeach him and put another one. He can tell them.
I'm sure that that's the number one thing people will be looking out for in this government. And funnily, it might surprise us because it's politics. Because
you can't make a state ungovernable. It's impossible. Nobody will sit down and look at it. Nobody in charge. No, that is impossible.
At one point, they even said Ondo State was an autopilot, and people were watching because I remember there was a time they said the Ondo State governor was in Oyo State and he was receiving treatment from Luth, and then they said the deputy governor was in Abuja, and then there were lots of controversies at that point.
He was on autopilot. The deputy governor was here looking for support. You understand? The cabal of the governor, the politicians from their party and so on, and even the one that won't succeed him, because that's what happened with the former deputy governor. You know, he started with one deputy governor. It's the same problem. He removed him, and he brought this one. You understand? So all these things, time has come that let us follow our constitution, our law. You understand? So that governance will move, governance will be tested, and people will be happy with the governance they have. When you create a problem, absence of governance is disaster. Is disastrous. Is dangerous. What happened in Plateau State at the Christmas Eve is absence of governance entirely.
I was hoping we were going to get to Plateau State at some point, but then it looks like Comrade has a manipulation.
Yeah, okay. I want to say that, like you rightly said, I'm towing the same line, and I think it was unnecessary, quite unnecessary. Is this emotions that have been attached to emotions and survival? Today now, the man you are fighting is governor. I think we should be advocating for peace. Yes, he has his right to revenge, but this revenge, at what cost? What will it cost?
Because even if we're talking about revenge, sorry to barge in, we're going to be looking at the whole House of Rep member leaving. Yeah.
And that may not also be possible. The governor does not have rights to do that.
They have a mandate.
He can. What he needs now is the cooperation. What he needs now, I'm not even dwelling on the prescriptions of the president, but the constitutional angle of it. Is governor now. All he needs to do now is to ensure that he creates that level of cooperation between himself and the legislators. If on the stance that they are, or one or two of them are elite, or the leadership is making the state on governance, it will come to the fore of the knowledge of everybody, and then one could now say, okay, well, he has his right to do what he wants to do because the state must move on. But as an instance, don't forget that the probability that he may be running for 2027 election is there.
That's 2024.
2024 election is there. Don't forget that they are politicians.
That's what escalates the problem.
They are politicians, and is going to be incumbent running. So presently, as he stands, he was going to take. He should be deliberate.
What if he should just down the consequence and then just go for it?
Then that is not wise. That is not wise. I think as a good politician, what he needs now is to control the structure immediately, get everybody on board to be friendly, begin to pick out those ones that will give you initial problems. You have to first of all get the party set right, so that you even emerge as the flag bearer. So for you to achieve that, I don't think you need to be fighting here and there. In his last lap, they will still fight. In his last lap, he has a lot to prove to Ondo State people, not only his party. Let me tell you something. It must not be his political party. If he can perform very well, he can show some level of maturity and stability, he can also win his election in another party. Who told you that he does not have the capacity to move from that party now as it is now to another party? Claiming the confusion and the issues in his party. He can do that and then run the election on another ground as incumbent and take the state again. So he has enormous grounds to do whatever he wants to do. But if he must remain in his party, my advice or my thoughts opinion towards that angle is he needs to create a peaceful environment. First of all, embracing everybody. Forget about the fight. Of course, who wants to work and then expect? Unfortunately, politics has turned to camp issues. You are not in this camp. You could be a deputy governor to a governor, yet you are not the governor's priority. You are not his
loyalty is somewhere
else. That is it. People use the right language. Their loyalty is not even.
It's not there, yeah.
The governor would have chosen you because of maybe nominations from leaders. You're not necessarily. Yes, you're not necessarily is preferred. If you were to choose a deputy, you were not what. So when they come into power, that separation will still be so glaring. At the time that we also know that the governors are also involved in picking principal officers of the legislation. Of course, they hold also that loyalty in quotes. So whatever the governor body language is, or sometimes they make even make the governor have a body language. Hence, constitutionally, like you rightly said, at the absence of, even if it's 2 minutes absence of the governor, the deputy is the governor.
Yes.
To talk of the case of demise, to talk of the case of serious ailments, it's not what you can compromise, and that just brought on just unrest and whatever in the state, which is uncalled for. Today, he is governor. In my own opinion, I think he has the obligations now to put together party together and even make them feel that perception they have, not allowing him to go here and there, is not really that kind of a person.
So he
set himself for 2024.
Yeah, you know, this thing happened in Taraba, like I said, and all these things you have mentioned
played out.
They did everything, but it failed because of hardline interest. There is hardliners, you understand, that don't believe or don't accept something like
outside their
doing. You understand? So we hope we pray for Ondo State government and the people to bear the loss of their governor, and let them come together, cooperate, and work together.
Well, as you speak now,
I will advise the speaker.
Okay.
The speaker should know that the governor, the acting governor now is in charge. There is a new sheriff.
Yes.
You understand?
Sheriff in town.
So if he's not willing to work with him, please let him resign and allow somebody to work or to legislate and make good laws for the state, so that we will not have division.
Okay, right.
Because we can't afford to have division in this situation we are. We are in a mess. We are in trouble. Our economy is in danger. So playing politics, I don't think is not what we want.
Okay, as we were speaking, the Ondo State government released, there was a press release from Ondo State government confirming the death, because of course there's been rumors back and forth and people were waiting for official statement from the family, but then it looks like the Ondo State government has finally released a press statement. And now let's quickly move from Ondo State to River State. Comrade said something about prescription of the president, and which is going to take us straight to River State. I was trying to look for pictures that went viral about directives of the resolution of the political impasse on River State. Of course, it's been lots of back and forth, and even as of this morning, we saw where the PDP actually dragged the current governor of River State, that's Fubara, to what and why he would succumb to what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said. But then in all of this, I'd like to get your opinion, because we have limited time and we have too many things to talk about.
Okay.
So I'll start with Comrade first.
Okay, there are three angles I'm going to analyze it very frankly. Okay. Constitutionally, what the president prescribes may not see the light of the day. The first section of the Constitution has spelled it clearly that nobody is above the law. However, there are some elements in it that can be humanly arranged to bring back peace between the two principles. That is number one. Number two, even if the governor as a person had adhered to those 8 points, and whatever prescribed by the president, there are some that are purely constitutional. Number one, the governor do not have the right to bring back the 27 members that have defected, the party, their seat has been declared vacant. Number two, there's a court judgment that now upholds Edison as speaker. So how is Sim going to do that? It is not, it's above his power, even above the power of the president. That's number two. Number three, there is a section of people that owns almost 11, maybe 12 local governments, the job people, where the governor is coming from, have also gone to court to challenge the prescriptions or the directives of the president. Why even the president feels that those things he wrote there that are one-way-sided will even bring peace, that they have cried. Don't forget that issue, they cried loudly that, look, the president at the time that this thing is getting out of hand should please intervene. And his intervention, the question is that, has it brought more peace? Will it bring more peace in River State or even more division? Anybody that goes through those items will look critically that it is a way to bring back the face of the minister to light. But I'm sorry, they have to look at the constitutionality of this matter. Don't forget the minister quoted it correctly that the fight, but what is on ground, is purely constitutional. Of course, the legislators have the right to impeach the governor. So that is where they've told. Till today, how is the governor going to bring back commissioners that resign on their own? There was no force, there was nothing, they resign on their own. So how is the governor going to represent the budget to a house level, which will even stand as a case for impeachment? Immediately he does that, that is a genuine grounds for impeachment process. So these are the things that I think the president should also help the governor. I saw on mainstream media today how he is appraising him and forgetting that it's a breach of constitutional provisions. So I think people are in court contesting that. If Sim likes, if the governor likes, he should go and make any peace. But the constitutionality of the case still remains. How will Edison, who has staked out his neck to have all this fight, have a court judgment? Will he go back to the court to say he is not interested in the matter again, he is no more the speaker? And when he comes back to the house, what happens to him? The 27 members have also appointed or elected a leader in person of Major Jack. So these are the things that we have to put together to say. If you critically look at the statement of the governor, you will see that he has said that those prescriptions or those directives from the president are not actually detrimental to his freedom. They are things that will be critically looked into. It does not mean to disobey the president. But even the president knows that there are some items there that are not in his rights, or I don't know how I'm going to put it, in his
constitutional rights.
Yeah, I think he cannot really intervene into them. So, but to say that he wants to keep peace with his leader, to say that he wants River State to be peaceful, I think the governor is in, and that is to me, that is what he said. They are not totally correct. To people that are genuinely fighting for peace, meaning that there are people that are genuinely fighting for peace. He also said that there is not all totally obtainable, meaning that some of those contents in the prescription, the settlements the president put forward, some of them can be reached, some of them can also be reached because of constitutional provisions.
Do you agree with what Comrade has said?
Yeah, you see, you call them prescription of
the president's prescription.
President prescription of illegality and prescription of fake drugs that cannot cure River State. Fubara is a smart guy. He went through the 8 items. He realized none will be achievable.
Some persons have even said that none is in his favor.
You see, because they just read the English.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, let me elaborate what he said. Okay. You understand? And the reason why I call it a prescription of illegality. Illegality in the sense that how can a governor go and withdraw a court injunction or a court order? You understand? How can a state assembly go and withdraw restraining order. You understand?
Yeah.
From Federal High Court. How? Tell me. I want to know. If Tinubu is the chief justice, is the president commander in chief and chief justice of the federation, then let us know. He should come out and say, no, I'm now a chief judge, so that whatever I said is binding. It's just like chief judge has said it. You understand? Now, the restraining order that the new speaker got, and the governor came and presented his budget, and the governor signed it into law. No. This is a constitution. Sign it into law. How will President Tinubu will feel that if they said, we are returning your budget, you have not submitted, we don't know you have submitted your budget. How will he feel? So, you are an executive, the government is an executive. You understand? And we are practicing federalism. You can't tumble on a state governor's powers. This is purely constitutional. You understand?
Yes.
How can a state assembly defect to another party and the chief judge gave a restraining order to declare their seat vacant, and their seat was declared vacant and sent to INEC to conduct a fresh election, and he said they should go back, they should withdraw.
INEC has even replied to say on the 8th of February they will conduct the election.
Conduct the election.
Conduct election.
Yes. Yeah, it's 90 days. You understand? So how can that speaker accept people that are no longer members of the state assembly? You understand? In fact, they lost their seat and they lost their party. You understand? So they are not coming back according to the law. Their seat has been declared vacant
and by
a competent court of jurisdiction through the speaker. That's the process constitutionally. You understand? That is why PDP was just looking at them and laughing and saying, you guys you are just wasting your time. You understand? And Fubara, being a smart guy, he saw and it's impossible. You understand? If you want to turn the River State into a banana state, or anarchy will loom, then fine. If Wike thinks that he's above everybody, he can do and undo. He's a godfather. He can do whatever he wants to do in River State. I want to tell him he's wrong. River State, if you are a governor, you have finished your 8 years, move. Allow somebody to do his own work. You understand? At least you are appointed minister of FCT. I will advise Tinubu to remove him as a minister of FCT, because you cannot administer FCT and administer River State at the same time. We can't accept that. It's impossible and it's illegal for Wiki to be interfering in the state matters and in the judicial matters and in the legislative matters and in executive matters. Who is he? This is the beginning of his downfall, if you don't know. I will advise Fubara to do what Ganduje did to Konkoso. For good 4 years, Konkoso did not enter Kano State. You understand?
Yeah.
Let him mobilize. Let him use security, everybody, to declare him wanted in the state. He should go to court. They should declare him wanted. Let him come. Or they should send boys to him. That's what Ganduje did to Rabi Musa Konkoso. From Konat Angora to what they call Mararaban Jos. Konkoso did not cross that road for good 4 years. All those people that are wearing red cap, he removed all of them. He removed all the red cap. from them. he took off the red card. He blocked the airport. No airline will carry Konkoso. Even a chartered flight will not carry Konkoso to Kano State. Let Singh Fubara do this to River State, to FCT Minister Nelson Wike. Let them block him. Let them deal with him. Let them punish him. Let them show him that Rivers people are not Lagos people. Because what Tinubu did to Ambode, that's what Wike is doing to this man is an accountant. How can a revenue generated $10 billion is being reduced to 6? And you said you cannot ask question. When you ask question, then you will now send impeachment. You send to talk to come and vandalize State Assembly chamber. Who are you? Even if you are the one that built it. In fact, you are not even the one that built it. So what is his? Me, I don't understand what even Wike is saying. Talk less of what did he want. Most people don't know.
Agreement is an agreement, but the problem is we do not know what the agreement is.
What is agreement? Agreement of Rivers people.
Agreement to steal their taxpayers.
What are you saying? What is the agreement?
What is the
agreement?
You can't be. You see, we have passed godfatherism.
That's correct.
We have passed that.
We've seen past videos where even Wike stood against all these things he's doing.
Yes.
People are quoting him every day.
Every day, yeah.
But to me, you know, sometimes when you pray to God, God will answer your prayer. You don't know God have already answered it. He said, how can we leave malaria and go and join cancer? So it's the cancer that is beating him now, not the malaria. You know?
Okay, all right. Let's quickly move away from that, even though we have limited time. I like the fact that you both agreed on one thing for River State. And our Titan Trust Bank has been acquired by Union Bank, although it's not final yet. And then I'm sure people have heard of the investigator. Let's use that term. Let's not mention him yet. And then in one of the papers today, that's First News, we have alleged CBN looting. We've had the investigators' work is to, of course, investigate what has been going on with CBN, especially during the tenure of Emefiele. And part of what is said is plans are afoot to invite ex-SGF, that's Boss Mustafa, for interrogation over $6.33 million cash stolen from CBN vaults. And I'll just quickly jump to the last part where they said Emefiele endorsed an illegal withdrawal of $6.23 million from CBN vault. How did all of this happen under the nose of former President Muhammadu Buhari? And of course, there were lots of back and forth as of last week whether the former president approved the Naira redesign, and Emefiele came out rightly to say, oh, the president actually approved. But that's not even the bone of contention. I beg your pardon. $6.3 million is a lot. How did that happen? I'd like to take Honorable Gajo first. In 2 minutes, we have limited time.
You know, there is one singer who sang a song in Hausa. In a proverb, he said, I'm not a thief, but what is happening, I'm worse than the thief. That's Buhari and his cabinet. Now, Emefiele, the same Emefiele, the money that they said he stole, whether allegedly or confirmed or confiscated or profited, is 25 trillion naira. 25 trillion naira is equal to Nigerian's budget. And only one man sat in his office, used paper and pen, stole all this money. One bank, one individual account, $8 billion from Olam Company. DSS confirmed that there is so many money Now, the SGF, they said illegal withdrawal, because illegal withdrawal will come in the absence of the board members. So there is no board members. The money was not appropriated. Then you tag it illegally. It has been proven that those monies are stolen. You understand? Now, Emefiele, how can a Titan bank that has one branch in the FCT and their head office in Lagos, only 2 offices will acquire a Union Bank?
The cost of
Union Bank, do you know how old is Union Bank? They have never changed name. They have never changed logo. They were never acquired. They have never merged with any bank for more than 90 years. 90 years.
Because as of 2017, they are
100 years
over 100.
Because I know Barclays Bank and First Bank, Union Bank, they are the first one. You understand? So how can a small bank that was created last year will acquire Messi? Even if we are dumped in this country, we need to ask question from where these people are getting their money. Do you know the liabilities, the asset that Union Bank has? Can Titan Bank, if not stolen money, how can that happen?
Acquired. Thank you. All right, over to you, Kamil.
I think I will differ a little. There are processes to acquire a bank, and if to me, if those processes in the investigation, if those processes are met, they have the right to acquire a bank. It doesn't matter how new you are. It's a capability and ability you have to acquire a bank.
But
we saw Diamond Bank came and acquired Access.
The Diamond had how many branches?
No, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying.
So
I don't know. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. See, Mercy. Someone can even acquire a bank. What is the acquisition of a bank? Holding the shares.
But if that one person is acquiring a bank, you would know what the person is capable of.
So to talk of a cartel of people that have formed a bank, let me separate it from Emefiele.
Okay.
This is an entity. If that entity has met the constitutional provision of acquiring another bank, so be it. My only worry and anger will come in if, like he's rightly pointing out, that it's full of illegality, because Emefiele, who is the owner of that bank, is this father of CBN, or the leader of CBN, the governor of CBN at the time, and wants to use his powers to acquire the banking environment. Rightly is absolutely wrong. Okay. If you look at the antecedents of Emefiele, he has done nothing. He has brought doom to Nigerians, and so everybody is beginning to condemn his activities at all corners. Emefiele rose from CBN governor to almost the president of this country. Even that some people held back his t-shirts. He would have been parading himself here and there. Cars were branded, t-shirts were branded, and all of that. We saw all of this in this country. A CBN governor that is not supposed to move close to anything politics went into all of that. Nobody cautioned in the administration he was serving. Some of them went into illegalities with him, took monies. Mercy, we have to be very, very careful. We are Nigerians and we are Nigerians. When once investigations begins to bring top players in this country, that will be the end of Emefiele's issue. Thank you.
Well, you said so, but illegality is illegality. Whether the way he purchased or the way, even the bidding and so on and so forth, is all illegality. You understand? But the new investigator now on Azera, the man from DPP, wallahi,
that is if they will not silence him.
Let me tell you, if he dare leak that report to EFCC, what is going to happen in Nigeria? It's only God that will save us.
Well, I'd like to just hold on to what you said, that the moment they start mentioning the top political elements in Nigeria, the issue like that, and I'd like Nigerians to actually watch out for that, because that is one strong word that
we've seen cases. We've seen. Do you want us to take us back to Abacha's period? Nigeria was seated. The Oputa panel was seated. Everybody glued to to television, wanting to see what is happening. Is it not today we are seeing Startimes from here and there, and
Batalute there.
To talk of a common CBN matter.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. It's been a good, let me use the word, great one with you on the program today. Thank you for shedding light on most of the happenings, and especially Rivers and Unifili. Thank you very much, comrade, and thank you, Honorable Gajo.
We just lost, before you plug, sorry, we just also lost the
former speaker, yes. Soul, of course, rest in perfect peace.
Very good man.
Yes. All right, our viewers at home, this is where we wrap it up for the POLITY for today. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for watching. We're sorry you couldn't call in today. We'll turn on our phone lines for tomorrow. Thank you for staying tuned. This is where we draw the curtain. I remain Mercy Babjide. See you same time, same station tomorrow. Bye.